So we're finding a way to get you to a point where you are financially free, you're financially secure, you're financially independent. Let that sink in. And you're expressing your gifts, and you're living in alignment with your soul's, calling. This is possible for you. This is what we're doing today. Okay? This reading, this message is it's an activation for this. Okay? It's an activation for you. It's a key. It's going to help you. So we have Sophia, divine intelligence, divine plan, wisdom, intelligence within, destiny. Very cosmic card. And again, we have this rose without thorns leading the message. So one of the main themes for this reading is the cleansing away. I'm like really cold. I'm going to put my hood on. Okay, I need to be contained in this little weird hoodie. So yeah, one of the underlying messages or themes for this reading is this whole thing around allowing yourself to live in ease. This is a big fucking deal for a lot of people, especially those of us that have gone through enough shit and we've gotten really used to living in a way that is stressing us out, and it becomes the norm, right? We get lost thinking that we have to be productive in a certain way, or that we have to struggle, because that is what society has taught us. That is what our world has been teaching us. It's what our friends and our parents and our loved ones and our, people who we don't know, it's just the world. The world itself has in so many ways affected our ability to actually believe that life can be easeful. And that's what we're uncovering today. That's what we're unlocking for you, for me, for anyone who's here who needs this message. Because that's where we're going. That's where the world is headed. This is what we're trying to do. This is how we're trying to change the world. This is also our way of healing the sickness of the world and of combating the toxicity of mindless consumption, of alienating what's the word I'm looking for? Individualism. Of the obsession with hoarding wealth. And so I really do think that those of you who are tuning into this reading will probably know what I mean by this. And I won't yap for too long about this. But all of you who are here are wanting to find ways to be financially free and independent, where you have more than enough for yourself so that you can share it with your community, with your family, and that you could build wealth for the future, okay? That is not something that is a given right now. The world is fucked in many, many ways. Our economies are totally messed up right now. It's really hard for us to feel safe. And so there's a lot of talk right now. There's a lot of spiritual activity around how to call in money, how to build wealth, how to become financially free. And this desire, this yearning is a beautiful thing. It's true. It's good. It's something that drives us to actually heal ourselves and to heal the communities that we live in. This is a good thing. Okay, wanting to have more money is a good thing. However, there is also this fine line between that motivation for wealth that doesn't need to be overly analyzed, doesn't need to be overly moralized. Okay, I'm telling you right now, you don't have to constantly defend your desire for more money. You don't have to make it such an ethical thing, right? Or, I mean, it is. Fundamentally, what I mean is that can stay in your heart, but you don't have to over-explain yourself. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But there is a fine line between that and then between developing or building wealth and then greed and the hoarding of money that we can see in all these horrifying examples of millionaires and billionaires around us who are detaching themselves from the world, detaching themselves from the plight of the common person. And so getting centered in your heart about who you are. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Sorry. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy crap. Sorry. So getting centered in your integrity, right? Getting centered in your real spiritual connection to the planet and to yourself and to what matters to you, to your values, is so, so dearly important. Meanwhile, you could be building your money, okay? So let's move on. So right away, we got the the 8 of Wands. Now that means, of course, quick movement. This means pew, 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 like instantaneous action. I also get something here around accuracy and the shooting of arrows, right? The shooting of darts and arrows. So for this group, for this reading, what is the key to financial freedom that also aligns with their soul's gifts, with the fulfillment of their soul desire? Sorry. Okay. Oh, now we have the Ace of Wands. Like I almost said that before. And we have the Devil. The Devil has been coming up a lot right now because this is, of course, a timeless reading, but we are in like October, November times. I mean, technically we're in November right now, but we're in this season of the underworld. I personally have been thinking a lot about Hades and Persephone and like the underworld gods, the chthonic gods, and the process of shadow work, the process of looking at the darkness within and becoming acquainted with it to such a degree that we can learn to love it and that we can see it and we can liberate ourselves from the illusion of being bound to things, of the illusion of being imprisoned, right? So the Devil is this like wonderful, wonderful card of showing you where you think you are imprisoned, of showing you where your chains are, of showing you the darkness, of showing you the underbelly of things, right? And you can look at it and be afraid, or you can look at it and be curious and be courageous and be open and willing and loving, and you can then free yourself, because of course you know that the people in this card, their chains are so loose they can just take them off. The Devil is not like a real thing, right? It's this like wonderful, well, it is. I mean, I'm not going to get so esoteric and start talking about that, but the darkness is your friend. The darkness within you and in the world is a place for, it's a portal for transmutation and healing, and it's a portal for depth and wisdom. This ties into Sophia for you, the card of divine feminine wisdom, of the consciousness of the world soul, right? So we have a very, actually a very spiritual reading starting out, I'm thinking. So you guys, I think, are tapped into like cosmic themes, cosmic understanding, consciousness kind of stuff. I think you guys are people who study the like nature of universal consciousness, that tap into it. You might also be readers, people who send out messages to others. You might be shadow workers. You might be, I mean, you are, because this is your reading and this is the key to your fulfillment. Shadow work is really, really important. Prayer and shadow work and ritual and sending out your intention, sending out your will, like this relationship between you and the world, the world soul, the physical realm and the non-physical. Like, this is where you exist, okay? Three of Pentacles. This is a card of building with others in collaboration. It's you owning your gifts and like standing up for yourself in a collaborative setting, in a world setting, okay? You have something really, like, you're skilled at something. It could be like an art, like a physical craft. It could be science, it can be art, it can be speech, it can be anything. It literally doesn't matter. I do have a feeling like it has something to do with like something creative, although most of us who are tuning into these readings like are in some way creative. But I think that, and your soul is innately creative, right? Like, your being is a creative thing. So basically all we do is creative. But anyway, you have a skill. You have a skill, and you need to own it, and you need to present it to the world with confidence, okay? And we have a Three of Cups popping up. Your community wants to see this skill. Your community is actually curious to know more about you. And this might be a community that is like waiting for you to show up in it. Okay, so you might not feel like your community right now is actually as receptive to you as you think, as you want it to be. But something about this is like, either you were mistaken and the people around you are celebrating you, and or when you show up with this skill, you know, like unapologetically and like matter-of-factly, you know what I mean? Like, this is my thing that I do, and I do it really well. People will just like listen to you. And I'm really getting that because this card is like, there's these other people here. So this is a craftsperson who is clearly working on this aspect of the cathedral. Then there's someone then there's a monk or a priest who is a person who like owns the building, basically, or who runs the building, or who works in the building, but who does not build it. And then there's a patron. This is a wealthy patron, and they hold the plans. And this craftsperson is like, okay, sure, you have these plans. Okay, sure, you have these intentions for what the space is going to be, but I am building it, and I will tell you where the limitations are, and I will tell you what we can do and what we can't do. And I'm a master of this, and you have to trust me. So this is about you standing up for yourself in professional settings, and owning your craft and owning your skills for what they are. And then through doing that, you then set the boundaries for others. This is really giving me like almost like consultancy work as well, like someone who has, it can be freaking any kind of job, okay? Where you walk in, you have this role. It's okay, you know what this reminds me of? Graphic designers. This is so graphic designer. Oh my God, okay. So that's just like, this is the perfect example to describe what I'm talking about. Somebody hires you as a freelancer to do something for them, to do a project for them. They want you to build their website or something for their business. And they have their intentions for their business, and they have like maybe an idea of how they want things to look, but they're not masters of the craft. They don't know the secrets that you know. They also don't know like the way that this stuff can come into being, how much money things cost, how one choice will lead to another thing, or blah, blah, what actually works, what doesn't. And you're the graphic designer, and you're telling these clients, like, this is what I can do. This is going to look the best, or this is going to work the best. And you have to like, listen to me. You have to understand that like, I am skilled in this way, and you are skilled in other ways. And you were paying me to do this work, blah, blah. So that came through so strongly. So I think that some of you may be freelancers of some kind, where a huge, oh my God, hold on, all the cards fell. And if you are, and this in that part of the reading resonated for you, then it's a confirmation that what you're doing right now is the right path for this, unfolding of financial freedom and soul satisfaction. Okay. I am getting, with the devil here, I am getting that some of you may be doubting whether or not you are limiting yourself through this path. Sometimes you feel like you're stuck. Sometimes you feel like you're bound by this path that you're taking. And you want to take action. You want to free up some energy here. You want something to feel more refreshing. You want to be free, and you feel kind of trapped. But there's a struggle with you, I think, internally, where you are... I think you need to free yourself from the limitations that you think you are bound by. And how? What's the key? So it's a mental problem. I'm not saying you have mental problems. I'm just saying it's an issue that is of the mental realm. It's about anxiety. You have to let go of anxiety. This is the whole thing about the underlying message with the rose without thorns. This psychological choice. You can actually decide, okay? And stop. Don't get it twisted. I have a background in trauma therapy. All my work and my readings are trauma informed. So I'm not telling you that you can just choose your way out of trauma or mental patterns and stuff. But whoever is here showing up to this reading, there is an element of your journey that involves you calming the mind, right? And finding a way to feel at peace and allow, this is the main thing, allow yourself to be at peace. Okay? And I know that that's fucking annoying to hear sometimes, because it's not actually how healing works. You can't just do that. But that is part of where you're headed and part of what you are uncovering right now in yourself. And the process of healing these patterns of anxiety and of self-flagellation, internally, and mental torment and mental stress and confusion, there is an aspect of shadow work. There is an aspect of facing the demons within and facing the limitations that you are experiencing externally, and transmuting them through... How can you transmute them? Okay, I'm not going to just give you random advice. Let's get something from the cards here. Death came out, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. There's a transmutation that takes place within you, a full transformation of your concept of basically financial success. You are... to balance this out, to balance out the relationship between your finances and your soul's calling and your soul's destiny, you have to look into the shadow. You have to peer into your own shadow, and you have to get back to the root of what you're doing and the root of your skills, okay? The intention behind your skills. This is something... There's a re-relating that needs to happen, where you need to transform your relationship to your own fear and your relationship to what you believe is possible. And this is a very spiritual path. Actually, it's a deep wisdom will come from this. And the answers lie in the shadow. The answers lie in what it cannot be seen with the eye. The answers lie in confusion. Like, where you are confused is exactly where you need to keep looking, okay? And sink into that, surrender into confusion, surrender into fear, surrender. And by surrender, I don't mean give in and become the fear. I mean, look at it, look right at it and say, okay, like, I surrender to this shit. All right, fuck, I'm falling through the void, for God's sake. And just like, and I know it seems weird, but, and there's also like a million different processes to face these things in responsible, balanced ways. Like, Western philosophy and therapy has come a really, really long way, especially recently, with techniques that are beautifully trauma informed to face ourselves and to face our psychology and our internal world, where, and to do this kind of work, to look at the shadow, and to speak to it and to transmute it and find love, and then get to the bottom of things, really, to get to who we really are, and get to, and I'm probably like preaching to the choir here. It's like, you probably already know. But this is a confirmation to like follow that track and to get support, get help, try and find either someone to work with or find resources that can help guide you like through your own self-practice of this kind of introspection. Because, because this is where the balancing happens, and this is also where the liberation happens for you, okay? The Page of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, is, I'm hearing like reframing, or like we're reframing everything. It's not about starting over. It's about remembering why you're doing something, and to feel like inspired by the process itself. The process itself is worthwhile. It's building something. Like, you are doing this for a reason. You chose this path for a reason, and it is bringing you, it's bringing you somewhere. And you've been getting kind of lost in how you're relating to this path and how you're relating to your like circumstances right now. And you are wanting to be free, and you're wanting to, like, I think in some way purify. There's a need to like express yourself, but also a need to purify this, like your experience, your relationship to yourself. I am also hearing the word quantify, to quantify something. I don't know if that's like relevant to you. A returning home, okay? This is like the end of your message, but what is needed right now, and what is the key to your financial success and also living in this feeling of fulfillment, is not necessarily to change tracks. I didn't get this message that you need to stop doing what you're doing, but you need to reorient yourself with the circumstances you're in, and you need to come home to yourself, and you need to find light within yourself. You need to find wisdom within yourself, because you already have made it. Like, you're at a point on your journey that is like something that you should celebrate. And if you're getting bored, or if you're feeling like you're being restricted by certain things, and you can't, like, and you're feeling, I just need something to like you're actually, I think you're where you need to be on the path, and it is going to bring you more wisdom. Like, you're not doing something wrong. Do they need to align, or are they aligned? Like, I just want one last little confirmation for that. Yeah, this is just about fortitude, forging forward on the path. We have King of Wands and the Strength card. This is fire. There is a very powerful energy that you guys hold to be motivated by something that's really meaningful to you, and to know yourselves really, really well. And the Strength card it's like an internal, it's a relationship with the animal self, relationship with the animus, with the anima. This whole reading is like, it's about turning the seeking, the need to seek, internal, so to speak, and then to show up in your physical reality with the skills that you have, and stick to your guns. Stick to your guns, keep doing what you're doing. Where you feel limitation and where you feel like you are being imprisoned, the key to that, the key to even to liberating yourself from that feeling, needs to be found within. You have to look at yourself. You have to go into the fear. What are you afraid of? Do you feel limited? Okay. And what's below that? Like, why do you fear this limitation? This is how you do it, right? Like, I'm scared that by staying in this job, I will lose touch with myself. I will lose touch with my creativity. Okay. Why? What would happen if you did that? What would happen if you lost touch with your creativity? I would feel like I was dying. Okay. What is that dying? What is that dying? What are you afraid of in that dying? Annihilation. I don't know what's below, right? Like, you follow the track of the fear and you allow it to speak to you with its, from the deeper depths, until you find this like light of truth, until you find a value, you find something that is like your deepest integrity. And then you resurface and you come back up to like where you are, to like what you're feeling afraid of. And you're like, how does this light within relate to this fear that I have? And is the fear actually stopping me from living from this light? Do I have to change anything, or can I just re-relate to myself? Can I just find a different way to live my life, to be inspired? Like, I can still do what I'm doing, this job or something, and I've reframed everything within myself, and that liberates me from this feeling of like disempowerment. And I don't feel as like beholden to others. And I realize that I can hold this job or whatever and then still function from this beautiful creative part of myself that's connected to my truth. So beautiful. Like, I love that. And this is just a beautifully laid out kind of path for you, that the key to you feeling this way is not necessarily to like stop what you're doing and to rejig and to like defend yourself from things or to fall into misery. It's do the shadow work, go towards your fear, because there is where you will find the answers. There is where you will find the key to how to then approach your work, because your work is correct. Like, your work is your skills. Like, you're already doing it. You're already in tune with your skills. So yeah, keep it up, my friends. Okay. Kind of long reading, but we'll get one message to part ways. And by one, I mean two, because two guys came out. Okay, self-knowledge. The soul walks upon all paths. I don't know, can you see? I hope you can see these. It's nice. Self-knowledge, and then we have marriage. Sing and dance together and be joyous. So this is the whole shebang about like the dark and the light within you. So it's like you're marrying yourself, right? And you're marrying the external reality to the internal reality. You need to find a way to synthesize and to marry these things together, to come back together, to find joy again, to find the motivating joy, to find play in the process, and to know yourself. If you know yourself, then everything becomes clear. And the skills that you have, you'll know what to do with them. And you won't be so frustrated by the process of potentially where you're meant to use these skills, where you're locked into using these skills. Yes. And I'm just waiting to see if there's anything else here that wants to come through. Yeah, I think also that you are being encouraged to use community. Okay, not use community, but to like enjoy community, and your access to community, your relationships with others professionally and otherwise. There is, yeah. I think sometimes we can feel a little like restricted by our circumstances, and that the circumstances aren't reflecting the inner realm. And to some degree, I think that that is true. I think that we do, like, as we change, or let's just say if we're discontent within, then our external reality will likely feel also discontenting, right? Like it'll feel somehow wrong. And then sometimes as we're like growing and developing, we are growing out of our circumstances and we do need things to change. And in that process, things can feel uncomfortable. But this process that's come up in this reading is the key to alignment. It's the key to feeling genuinely in alignment with the soul's destiny, with the soul's need to express itself in a particular way or to follow destiny. However, you are not off the path. You are on the right path. Like, you're not misaligned at all. This is part of the path, right? So the marriage of light and dark is realizing that discomfort is part of the magic of the soul's journey. This is how you need to travel, like Persephone, right? You need to go to the underworld and you need to come back up. And that is that you cannot just like skip on the surface of things forever. And you can't just look at your circumstances and go, I need to physically change them, or I need to energetically change them, or I need to like move, or I need to like force something to change. Like, that's not how you do this. The wisdom of the feminine, the wisdom of the Sophia is to like go within to find the truth, and the Hermit card, and then emerge again from there with like the lantern of the soul. Like, the Hermit card is like a Hecate figure to me. She's like the torch bearer. And we can do that for ourselves. We have an internal torchbearer, and we also can call on the gods for this, right? But like, and do this metaphorically speaking, or mythologically. But like, you can be your own torchbearer. You hold the torch, and you're like, okay, I am now intentionally going into my dark places, And then you go and you recover aspects of yourself through curiosity and love, through patience, through being brave to look at the fear and to be honest. You have to be like radically honest with yourself. And yeah, do the shadow work and face the quote unquote demons, and you'll find that the demons aren't really demons. Okay, that's your reading. Love you. Bye.